Listen, I wasn't sure about this wig. Then it arrived in the mail and I was like, I'm cute, okay? Like, I should be arrested. It shouldn't be legal for somebody to be this cute. Welcome back to another edition of the Sneaker Club. If you're a person who loves sneakers and sneaker culture and wants to learn more about them, then this is the channel for you. So don't forget to subscribe, like, comment on the videos, and let's get to talking, people. So today I'll be taking you guys through Puma's history. I'll also take you guys through some of the really cool collaborations that they've done and the achievements that they've made along the way. And I'll also talk about some of the shoes that I really love and enjoy. As always with our Get Kicked series, in addition to today's content, I'll be doing the What's in the Box segment where I'll be teaching you guys a brand new sneaker culture term that you can take home and teach your friends. Puma is actually the world's third largest sportswear manufacturer. It was founded by Rudolf DASSLER and established in 1948. If you watched my previous video about Adidas, you will know that Puma was founded after the two DASSLER brothers had a feud and parted ways, creating Adidas and Puma. The brand was actually initially named as Ruda, but then was renamed to Puma, inspired by the Puma cat, which was chosen for its speed, strength, agility, endurance, and suppleness. The rise of Puma probably began around the 1960s when German sprinter Armin Harry actually broke the record at the Rome Olympics for the 100 meters, and then later in the 1960s, Brazilian soccer player Pelé actually helped Brazil win the World Cup wearing Puma cleats. In terms of the logo, originally the Puma logo was actually the Puma cat jumping through a D, representative of DASSLER. However, in the 1970s, the logo was refined and it became the logo that we now know today, with the word mark and the cat jumping over it in the corner. The foam strip is actually a Puma trademark. If you notice, a lot of the Puma shoes, they've got that strip running along the length of the shoe. That was actually first implemented in 1958. And first it was actually like a functional strip, but eventually it's grown into something that's become part of the brand's identity. One of Puma's greatest achievements is becoming the first company to ever use suede on sneakers, which is interesting because at that time, a lot of the sneaker brands were using leather on their shoes in the early days, and mostly because suede was considered to be difficult to clean at the time. But it's actually grown to become the classic that we know now as the Puma suede. I don't know if you guys have really noticed, but the Puma RS range as well as the CALI range seems to be growing in terms of like its standing with lifestyle and streetwear, and those are actually remakes of the 1980 models. The Puma RS, which actually stands for running system, was originally developed as cushioning technology for running shoes. What's interesting about that is that they developed that range around the same time when the running boom was rising in the 70s and the 80s. If you remember from my previous videos, that's also when the Nike Air Max range was also booming at that time, and they were also capitalizing on that. I feel like there's starting to be a running trend in terms of like a lot of the street style shoes that we like now being actually previously developed mostly for performance and like fitness stuff. The Puma RS range also was used to develop the Puma RS computer shoe, which was a shoe that actually had a computer chip inside that allowed you to record your time, your distance, and the calories that you've burned as you've been working out. The Puma CALI, on the other hand, was actually originally a tennis shoe, interesting enough, and was popularized by legend Guillermo Vilas. I hope I pronounced that right. And he actually developed like a whole range, and one of those iconic shoes in that range was the Puma CALI. Something also very cool about Puma is that they reopened their basketball faction of their company in 2018 after a 20-year hiatus, and they made Jay-Z their creative director. So that means that he's actually the person who's been assisting them in terms of choosing who they endorse and also just directing the whole overall concept of the section of that brand. I think that's very interesting because also at the same time in my research I actually discovered that in the 1970s and the 1980s Puma was doing amazingly well when it comes to hip-hop culture, most especially when it came to like b-boys and skaters and speaking of skaters, they also did really well in terms of the skateboarding scene as well. A random but very interesting fact is that they've actually created about 3 sustainable collections with two companies called Living Color and Stream Media. And what is interesting is that in their latest collection that they've created, they actually used bacteria to dye the materials, and they also used a biodegradable material that actually reduces the likelihood of waste. So I think it's very cool that like a lot of brands are really moving forward in terms of like being more eco-friendly and caring a lot more about what they're putting back into their communities and what they're putting back into the earth. I think that's very interesting. Right, let's talk collaborations. Obviously we're gonna start with the mother of style, Rihanna. If you guys don't know, anyone who knows me will know that in this household we stan Rihanna. We stan Rihanna in this household. But yes, Rihanna actually took the Puma suede and she restyled it and reimagined it into the Puma creeper. People that have done really amazing collaborations with Puma is the Hundreds, who are a social media like merchandising company. They only promo on social media. There's also J.COLE. J.COLE just recently released in July, if I'm not mistaken, he released the RS Dreamer, which is a basketball shoe, and they just released now again in August. Something cool that Puma also has done is that they did a capsule collection with Def Jam Records, celebrating 30 years of Public Enemy's Fear of a Black Planet album. I think it's actually a very cool collection. They did a remake of the Puma CLYDE. The Puma CLYDE was actually born from NBA star WALT, who was also known as CLYDE, and was actually developed as a basketball shoe. And they also did a really cool remake of the Sky LX, which is also an 80s basketball shoe. The colorways are really amazing, really great. If you don't know Public Enemy, you should probably check out a song called Fight the Power. Another one for me by Puma that I find most iconic is their work with Nipsey Hussle, because they initially released something with him in September 2019, but then after his passing in January 2020, they relaunched a new collection and all of the proceeds that they created, they actually went towards his foundation, which I thought was really amazing and very cool. And it actually just spoke back to his legacy and the things that he was trying to change in his communities. So I think that's very cool. Okay, in terms of shoes that I like by Puma, top of the list is the RSX. Guys, I need one, I really do. And there's one that I have my eye on. But yeah, I need one. Secondly, I would get a Puma suede or a CLYDE, because in my research I actually realized that a suede and a CLYDE, they're more or less kind of the same shoe. They just have like the CLYDE has more tweaks, like small tweaks that were made to it. But it's essentially the same shoe, so I would get either or. Would I get a CALI? I don't know. It's not, I don't think it's an ugly shoe. I think it's a very cute shoe. I just don't know if it's my style per se. Like, let me say that. And then another shoe that I would get is a Future Rider. Definitely would get a Puma Future Rider, and they have like amazing colorways. So yeah, I definitely would cop. Okay, time for our What's in the Box segment. Let's see, what do we have in store today? Okay, not looking. Why is there so much paper in my hands? That one. The word today is cop, which is used as a verb meaning to purchase. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this content and if you enjoy learning about sneakers and sneaker culture, then don't forget to actually subscribe to my channel, and also comment and let me know what are some thoughts you have on Puma and what are some shoes that you love. If you also enjoyed the content, please don't forget to tell a friend and let them know about my channel. See y'all next time. Mwah. Bye.